Amade shema mu nyina ha UTV esuni omamu nsem ne amahodo so dia wosamfo aso eno ene na wi Midday eso mokase bo ekwai so na de eto edwanu bi ene se organized labor wonomo ebe ye kiremu wode ne pa na ye ne mu mpanyifo bedi emu enkomo de nti a wotu anamon afei esoso ye konsem foforo mu a ye John Dramani Mahama wo kura chiniye amanyokuo no emu ede ama NDC de atodwa se ade a wo betre free SHS ni mo amanaka private schools no na enkoye se yeyi wonom ayipamu won sam foforo mu no ade a owura kan Agyapong eso de atu edwa se Dr. Baumia bosha wonam a wo hye enkofo no se nyame ya adom na suwo nya edwa no a wo be hye ne kete amena di ni nyina so won sam foforo mu so Ghana de hye bi a kire wadwen ade afa democracy hub for eye kire a wonom koye nam so ama posifo a kire makogum nipa bi esusu se yenya wonom na yensuo no a amanyofo enam dada kra kwa so se no enu nti no omte atwa ya ahomete no omde ye nti yenya wonom omanfo bi adwen kire ya wo kire ye ne ye de besom mo awie kasebo mu mi amidi kasie ho chia mi medin de ama sapon kuma jesini e kai mo said this way chocolate drink you here any insuration na ebo ye chidoma face special drinks any specialized mineral water wo mo na eso yasene abusuya se awie miti eye cute cat parlor omo wabeka junction adjacent Ecobank na eye edema me sa so na matade free Britain Africa me patrol wo no mo eni achi kra fra 1026 020 675663 eso na obesiesi ho ama ho ayefe yeti asi ensem no emu United Nations Educational and Scientific and Cultural Organization one more eden hyehyeye sonkubi aba ebeboa ma pepepeyo adadi ewa mamuo empuntuo ene ne nkankro emu
International Day of Universal Access to Information na yeda so nkwa fibia mu no ye hye ho fa fin so de no abaso my Ghana ya hye ho efa bie na adwumadi ase no na wo kirikire mu se obi ehia information na se ohia nsem efa adwumakuo bi ho efa nipakuo bi ho anase efa bibi ho na nipa no ye bebo ma ne nsa aka no echen fa ho de bia ewa asasi so edunti ne Ghana ban na kwa hodo wonhwe hu ni se access to information no ye de be adwuma ye na achimi abo na kabe ma menka bi atumi afa ne ntoma pa ediefra na adwumadi ase no otonsa de Ghana mampe no wantumi anko wodomanyamfo ya wosedi twumadisua soafo ene kosi na namu a wodi nsem sei atudwa
access information must be inclusive. It must reach every corner of the country, including our most remote communities. That is why we have extended fiber optics network to underserved areas and expanded mobile network coverage to connect even the most isolated areas of the country. I'm determined to ensure that no Ghanaian is left behind in this information age. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate our progress, we must also acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead. Access to information is not without its obstacles. There are still instances where information is delayed or withheld, where bureaucratic inertia slows down the process, or where citizens are unaware of their rights under the law. These are challenges we must confront head-on. It is essential that we continue to strengthen the capacity of our public institutions to handle information requests efficiently. It is equally important that we raise awareness among the public about their right to access information and how they can go about exercising it. We must also address issues of data privacy and ensure that as we make information more accessible, we do so in a manner that protects the rights and security of individuals. As we look forward to the future, I call on all stakeholders, government agencies, civil society, the media, and the private sector to work together to promote a culture of openness, transparency, and accountability.
Enkrato soafo wodomanyamfo Fatima Bubakar enso kopie mo dwumedi ase a ono so de nsem sei atudwa.
We have made significant strides in enhancing transparency and ensuring citizens have the right to request and receive information from public offices. Through the efforts of the Information Services Department of the Ministry of Information and the RTI Commission, we have witnessed a growing awareness of the importance of access to information. with various public institutions implementing robust frameworks to comply with the law. However, our work is far from done. As we move forward, it is imperative that we mainstream access to information within all public sector institutions. This means making access to information a routine part of governance process, ensuring that government agencies actively publish key documents and records, and fostering a culture of openness that goes beyond compliance. The goal is not just to provide information upon request, but to proactively share knowledge that can inform public discourse and foster meaningful participation.
Ora John Dramani Mahama de ato asofo mpanyimfo anim se yade a wo ba Free Senior High School no obetim amanaka ankrankra de no so.
At the secondary level, we intend to bring the private schools in because we have determined that the private schools at the secondary level have capacity. Because of the introduction of the free SHS, a lot of people have migrated from the public schools because of fee paying in the private schools. And so we want to extend the free SHS into the private schools so that we can ease the congestion in the public schools. That will help us to solve the double track. We'll finish the E-blocks that we're building as quickly as possible to create more space, and then we'll bring the private schools in so that they can absorb some of the children, and it will ease the congestion so that we can let all the children go to school together and also vacate at the same time, instead of this double track where they sit at home for 3 months, go to school for 4 weeks, something basa like that.
Yet wakasi obono eso kofar by edema asafo efreno say Glorious Word and Power Ministries International ya wasofo Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempa ene da no de ato eja say Owura John Dramani Mahama onyame ayino se sa abre die wono na emedi oman Ghana enimu na onfa oman no enko die onyame ahyehye se opese kodru
enam openi na koma papenti onyame asado oman ahye ne sabi Bibia ntimi sia no kwa amen ene ena waka watintim no ewo omanya konya kese so ewo Yesu di mu amen
Omalishe yeto akasi obono amamo na empanyumfo ya wono edwumadie ene se oman Agyapade ya omanfo afomafa ye Asset Recovery Interagency Network West Africa wono ene ankrankra na afiamano ne enwumaku ahodo pi ID kasubom akabom a wo ye afia no ehyiamudie ya wode eboa kwan ye befa so na ne ye wono yetumi akrakra ne yie ewiase nyina.
Deputy Finance Minister Onumanyamfo Stephen Amoa ena wobosika krabia hodo wo Ghana baso papa paso abom homode ye ne sika mudwade enam kwa paso bibirem no Ghana yetumi adimu nkudim papa yetu so sayi pa esanse hwehwemu kirim se sika efa sibo akwan so na yentua eto wo ho aye wo how dem bibifo afibia mu oni sika bibifo ye hwere no enye sika ketwa a wo sagina so asira ku ahodo aka so mbom homoden Ghana mabunu se nyina yem ye ni na ho ne yemwa na money laundering yentimi endi so nkunim
you make sure say your boy homodin na your boy o man sika ho ban na you make sure say sika boni a efifi baabi ebo o man na efiri o man mu ko baabi no a essay sabi ebibi man wiase nyina na Ghana no yetime sia no ho kwan emse no ka ho bi na bibi se shraj ohia 1993 Act 456 eno ka ho ye bie sa mra na eye ho adwuma nti ehia ha se ene omu 11th anniversary mfie edu baako or my friend for other African countries. The Obunikano, relevant stakeholder individuals and organizations. Sabi umbe disadano. No masa she sa to me no. An entity any da ubonu mukena. Na on mine obiame ne ni adaho. Na sa adiena ye no. Etimi ayedai akofom. Na sabi sika boni illicit financial flows no yetimesi ano. Na sa ne ba sika sem. Oya emma African yetimi ni ya America sika no. Opepia do 90 billion and afibie betimi Africans so here you say your deficit yimpuntu nyuma no etu sin kakra afibie anka esi ehia additional 200 billion do we ya kemu 50% krako but because of we ntini your home anu ntina na yehia ntina da ubo a ye magana fo nyina na wi ase Africa obi atie se timamufo nso moa na ommo institutions na ommo nhye ommo sapo mu nsuo na nyina ntimi nkuntia ekwambone a enkrofo fa so epesika titiru tax evasion say wa to mem nsusu ntua tax obafa kwambone so na sika na nkọ aban ho aban sika nso eso okoba bosia na bosia nso mene ye eka ye wi a na ye esa complain you can't eat your cake and have it. Some of these financial flows they pass it through the banks and unknowingly to omusu mi omuniamu ye titiru aba for computer abai sani ebe umbenya the right IT systems, if I should put it, integrated IT systems and software sa ebet me block sa na na check na expose such activities to make sure so mo de enye sika bia na ese bedam a omo nhwehwem oman bi so no udi sika bia koto a e so otimpu ba banks no na they are doing well because ansana sika bi udi beto na ade kura no omtimi check sabi YD ka ko check o background kakra ntimi fi say they do but they need to do more.
National Youth Organizer Dema NPP Amanyoko Salam Mustafa say afia batu on womu ni hwe ewo mu ese nkodimdi enko.
Election ayekoi nyamia dom. The only verdict that is going to come out of Jean Mensa's mouth and he said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the validly elected president of the party. Election ayekoi menemu nyina yawo Agyapong ewe your table so. It is win or win. Win or win. We don't know lose. Not at all.
And you know the person they play. 1 year walk no ma aye enika aye kabehe. Yeah, or any part of Ghana, Obeshasa walk we know. Obewu say MPP, we are poised for victory in December. Oma meniaji, Mesu Mekofia Medapa, Tresse, and she said, "They have to form party paying for free polling station, constituency, region, and national." And she said, "Yeah, Juma pa." Na wonya Juma no bia so di entoka eba moswa national chairman or general secretary and all other officers. Ye jina mochi ye beti aboamo bia asembia e say ye na ma party na din kunim mo so no ye beba ko wa ma ye yie no munya asetra pa no ye beye amasa niema no abaso wo hwe crowd no dia chese ye din kunim awie na mom e wo se ye kwa ase wo koye adwuma na nkasa e wo se ye kwa ase wo polling station koye adwuma na nkasa ogoro sa onto abawo Accra ye mfa ne se ofri Kumasi ofri Kumawu na wo Accra ha bo modern se emra no so a wa kwa nkoto aba na rally we nyina mfa so bia maso DC poll Omumpo Dr. Bawumia Abaya president NDC poll Omumpo Dr. Napo Abaya vice president NDC poll Omumpo Omunsu Omumpo Omunsre Omumpo Omunnaho Omumpo Omunsore Omumpo Omunkwashadem Omumpo Omumpie Omumpo Kania Omumpo Omundumno Abaya president.
ye free NPP ehwa abano ne yemohwi enko sehwidwabo so emrahye eyoro akwabena minta akando na wode ato edwase electoral commission ye ote edwase wonum ni madwuma kra se classroom abato kra nse se ye mo kwamo mo hweso.
This current EC, they don't even deserve, okay, to conduct classroom elections. Very incompetent, highly incompetent, and they are a very dangerous group for the democracy of this country. Very dangerous group. Number one, they are full of partisan political personalities. I mean, be a best of a kind of correct, including the Peace Council. The Munim said that guy who is called PJ or someone. Munim said, no, a communicator for MPP. Who doesn't know? Why are we quiet? Why are we quiet in this country? And what are you expecting from that guy? Munim said, boss, I know a patron for Tescon, Legon. Munim. Mufia Kwanya, not done for fast or two shall to save you. You know, and quite apart from that, they are highly incompetent. And you see, the EC is not the mind of the ECU, it is the MPP. And read my list. You see, I have this hardcore evidence. I was a member of the Subsidy Legislation Committee. Subsidy Legislation Committee, sometimes the Electoral Commission for the CI for pre-laying, me be some question they are unable to answer. MPP for the answer on the committee. So it means that the MPP for know the pre-knowledge of whatever they are bringing. And I picked this. I formed this opinion long ago. Into the end can be the Electoral Commission will have to go and sit down with the MPP. No, catch them say, "Mamu way." And once the MPP say they should do, they will never do.
Onmonyan for Ahmed Ibrahim emrahye bedwani de ma adehye wo banda wode ato edwase wo se framantamu adehye se bra ye wo mu yi wo so mo ka wo ho bom sanse eni disi amanyokuo no eni amanyokuo a wo mo edo na wo mo boa ayenuanom ewefo enti so mo ba bidom kokromuti be kira eye NDC.
The 2024 election of liberation, election of freedom. In the movement, I will have a CC 2020. From there up to now, since I now have MPP by Komiam, voter reading for Brown Mabre, Omayeri Omedi, Omoped Mayan for Modia Kutomonte, Omuna Omokum. Therefore, all of MPP for agriculture for Babetro Mudin. Na omo ti Ghana ha omo voter reading for yeso omo ya before metro mind disente omo ya Ghana for until they have been suffering identity crisis since MPP came to power. And no na kanya omo amuka said there be one kasa oti one ye money and the na yen kambom na yen bua na yen kodem na John Mama MF president na ya fine anya ya fa ho de biom omo nya hwe kuampo no fa ho de keke na omo de o NDC mremo no eso money South Bono region kuampo a the number of voters are almost in conclusion almost and NDC so editum say almost betimi aye ejuma no ama nkunimdie aba obinu mele omode ade ese se ne esi dose ne nti no ese ye nso ye hwe ne ye ese ye enko say emre bi etwam eba ne edi nkunimu a ye amnafo a yigina ho na voter as one caucus e be hwe some so no mo hwe no omo nsaka o makuma ato omuyem e bi ejeje mu ache na sisi aso de enso edwuma ye ne se ewie a enkonimdie beba
na ade aya ye try ne attach ye nuanom Gotarian say omo perform no omo koya adwuma mo be say ye hwa ya ye free voter region no nipa outside voter region no door to say yeah voter region the our people connect here na yetime to Obama NDC because the intimidation is too much. So you're voting and you are not a Ghanaian. Omonko various constituencies, no. Omonko no omonya adwuma. You see omonko from door to door, market to market, church to church, kitchen to kitchen, room to room, even at the farm. Omonko constituency ni anom. Na omunyina 7 December no. Omontime meto Obama John Dramani Mahama.
Yako ensemfu from na chairman Divine Otu Agohom eye Greater Accra Regional Chairman Dema NPP wodi atu eja ese enya dia NPP amanyuko no wo maye krado se wo mo eba akwa akotena fie se mvie nwotwe wo mo dia wi wo mkotena fie enti kwam bia so no obayi wo mfam dia asan agetomi
ya beko election wo dia wo say so far wo dia wo nya asue I don't want to believe that obi wo ha nanado abai onya ahofaso kra wo bebia enye den kra se wo so light anami boa se mu kai papa ba ko no ni time se mu kai aganyumre obeda so mo ma wahu so at least ya nyina ya nya MPP government no ne hofaso epinumuzu wo ho a ade ayeye omo anya hofaso Nensu nipa boni subamponi susumbi abe romumu omu pese party no ko opposition yan ko opposition china MPP by the grace of God will win. Choboy Mutie baby, you want to tell me, say, hello, Papa B, monim Midday. You want to tell me, say, Papa B, any dom, ene, almost Omwadani, Afafranto, say, de. You want to tell me, say, MPP by Onya Hufaswo. Wow, Obia Kufota, Unya Hufaswo. Nanado bae wasanya homfaso sabe wonim said ya wo ye e fafaso bia embreu nansu hello nipa boni semiti yes roiti yenka yebeka nipa boni semiti upese usai ade no yebeba no kwa manasai wo ya fafranto dia ele pebebi nafa we eya osuno party aranya sa we will work hard for the new patriotic party to win. Na nyamidi munti. Gas will win Ambasama. Baumia will win the presidency. Aside say yebe Jumadin, aside say yebe Kunyeho, aside say yebe tisi form no unity eyadia edamakuma so unity eyadia mesramo esansramo say nyam kama kuma mesramo say obi tie onan so megiri say nyina ye wa ha no obi atie onan so nanso party mu donti odi ache megiri say nyina ye wa ha no obi aka assembly afa ho party mu donti odi ache MPP mu donti odi ache Dr. Banwe mu donti odi ache Nisakas mu donti odi ache ne santi mesramo say yenko ni say ya na ye manu ya de ye kasa mu nte say na be ya ye konfiefiem ye hia ye ho ye bibia be ko bia no ye ma kasa den doso na ye ma ye Jumadin na ye no so no ebetimi abaso mfaso so ade ma ye nyina ne santi medam nyina se ena amasama constituency ne MPP ni bia hwe ne se Agyapong any door to door house to house e nyina ne yenka ye ho bom na ye ntimi retain ye si.
Professor John Gatti Dean at the University of Cape Coast Business School now there are two address Electoral Commission on my na forensic audit no yenye we abato na abato no emuna ho fine.
The EC thrives on the trust of citizens, and the trust must be won in every election year. Independent constitutional bodies are not secret societies that conduct their affairs without transparency, accountability, and integrity as good governance pillars. An audit tests compliance with policies and legal procedures of establishing a register. An audit may be internal, but an external audit is needed to assure stakeholders as to whether or not the register is established as provided by law. Internal operational and IT system audit cannot be carried out when integrity is in question. A call for audit does not take away the independence of the Electoral Commission away. The EC brings in independent professionals all the time to help one way or the other to do things for the Electoral Commission. The argument that bringing an independent IT audit firm to conduct an audit for the EC means the independence of the EC is violated is just a defense mechanism and is not supported by law. Even the Auditor General lists private independent professional audit firms that support the Auditor General in carrying out the audit of the nation. And the Auditor General published this list as part of the Auditor General's report all the time. Even the Auditor General lists private independent professional audit firms that support in carrying out audits on the face of the Auditor General's report. There is a global best practice that requires elections management bodies in the context of integrity to implement post-registration procedures such as internal validation or audit and third-party or external validation. This external audit forms a key part of rebuilding electoral integrity using cross-verification methods as a player in the international elections management space. It should be a considered priority of the EC since its funding partly comes from the international community. I therefore encourage the EC and political parties to prioritize the integrity and credibility of the voters' register by conducting the audit so that the time factor is not used to blackmail the process.
Onimonyafo Esla Owusu Ekufo ada dwumadie sonkubia dia wo frɛ no National Cyber Security Awareness na eno ekwan efa so dinkita ho wo abefo kwan ne so sɛde ebeye ne yie na yemmɔ abosremu kansam ni titiri ni abato obreye na wo di sa dwumayafa ho.
In alignment with His Excellency the President's recent address on the subject, I emphasize the importance of truthfulness and transparency amongst all political actors. The spread of false information for political gain is a threat that undermines our democracy and erodes public trust in our political processes. It is therefore imperative that political parties and candidates engage in constructive dialogue, presenting their ideas and policies with integrity and respect. So please, we are not all liars. But if we persistently spread false information for political gain, then all of us will be tagged with a label that we don't desire. And I think Ghana deserves better. So it's incumbent on all of us to also engage in our political discourse with some level of integrity, truthfulness, and honesty. Additionally, we must support initiatives such as fact-checking organizations that play a critical role in verifying information and debunking false claims. Together, we can create a political environment that values honesty and promotes a culture of accountability and decency. This year's Cybersecurity Awareness Month aims to raise awareness about the impact of misinformation and its implications for electoral integrity, peace, and security. We call upon all Ghanaians to use this period to educate themselves on safe online practices and to share this knowledge with others.
The increase of disinformation, defined as the deliberate circulation of falsehoods intended to blur the lines between fact and fiction, may trigger violent protests or attacks against journalists or erode the legitimacy of some institutions. Malicious disinformation can polarize societies, manipulate public opinion, and undermine the trust placed in the very fabric of the society, in the institutions, in the media. Both Europe and Ghana have had their fair share of disinformation, which often originates not only within the country, but also from abroad. This is the reason why the European and Ghana engage in a partnership to further deepen that foreign information and manipulation will aim to undermine our bonds as well. As we all know, today is about shared and common interests, shared and common values and priorities. We are by no means here to lecture or to summon, but to share what the European is doing together with the African continent and what we can do with the region and Ghana. We want to collaborate on equal footing to achieve common goals, and the Europeans have as much to learn from Ghana as we have to offer.
Yako ensam fufuro mu na onmunyamfo Kennedy Agyapong de ato wonu mu a eton spare parts anim ese Dr. Baumi Abosha wo hye se wo de flat rate policy ebeba no wo be hye ne kete se nyame adom no nyaman adwatena so de a wo be hye no amwayo
CF and friend Charles Forson Onuna all standing for MPP Jema Central. Delighted, that's why we are a kind of and then I'm a Tuabano, I'm a Chas, I'm a Tuama, then you are catching the idea. Somebody may move quiet. But yeah, you might be scabbard. The woman, a pano, and Vice President the one of Frey and the Amma contract. Tibinim said, Muma the challenge said, before see a better rubber or seven who say machine is. And I'm sure by the end of this week. One candidate for the light kakra abebumoha and to say yankotwaba yabeba no full any light industrial area for begin say igana mudi ihwe duty sir kunyo maswa mimi koyi nyoma duties back 22 different levies and a was Namia Sanya BC Ebridino Nanuntina Dr. Baumia Island is Oba Obey flat tax. Me am a businessman, I mean, me am person, I mean, when he had the idea. Me am so that be a Macasabuna soon. Flat tax, no, or they back. And the phony businessmen are so. It will make sure say, we'll honor the promise. And yes, sir, next time you to me and my happy. You are the same side. Motronswa, yes, so you can one making sure that duties in the attitude. So if they're afraid you're Ukrainian, you.
Yeah, busia yanko ensem foforo mu na ensasira nom ye wo achimegu akwa e de atu edwase se wono de wo nsase ebema enipabonfo a wono mutu fom agudie ye namra kwanso yi ene se wono mo ebenyi won sase no watena se enkwanhosan mu no wono mo enhwe na wonyi baako se de be ya obetumi abo nsuo ne nsase ho ban
emata ewo akola bi ebe wonu woni ni ho ye wa akola ne se ni ho ye be wonu di dem Galamsey enti me ko ne ko asase mu no eni so elu no asa obi ba wo de ba na nani ni ho na wo be ko sika wo de ko enti mo ba ya se na ya ka da no ojo la so ye ni ye ya wo hu me free mu so ani ba ba no mu so bia tu odor kokofo sika ntentem ti osu kokofo no ma to ma mine ana na tutu asase so awie wa jabra to wo sa asase ya ka o Instagram anya wo dia bi o to asase ma mine no di mo send wie na amna da wo nipa no e me kanta sa asase ya wo dia nti wo ma o sika ato asase ma mine so wo tutu amna o kata so e di ntontom ani o hawba sa asase ye pesika ni esese na anya wo dia bi ni to so bi asase bi so ni ha ayo bidia ye pani queen and obedua no chema mra de se ba bia oda de so bia wodidi so e di watch ni na hu kwai na kodo na yo kokofu a ayo wodia until say impuntu be ba kwa be ha yes ye be school and ye be school asase school so me de be ha no be ba ti for na be fa ma woda who asase no to adaka so fa mo bi obi a news ka za huti ya news ka na se mputu oba kwa be na se se pe na de school o send me why ni babo ni ba na we a oba ka sa won pre e ti kan e se o se o ti sen yo e se o so we amba o so na man fo so aso agrago mo e di mechi e nye bibi a de ba o so ti e do o so a na be so kwa be so we amba enti October 12 no 25 years e ba ti mu nyina mo na chedi na ye 25th anniversary no kra e di na me chapter.
Works and Housing Minister Yero Agyapong kroma de atudwa sa aban ye ne famudie bia se adan bi te se sagleme afi boteman ya na aka no ho enema aka be ma ewie mu dia mu amanfo enya adan atenemu no wonum go so dendende.
We had about 5 stalled housing projects: Boteman, Asokore Mampong, Koforidua, the state housing companies project in Adenta, as well as the Saglemi affordable housing projects. The good news is that Boteman and Asokore Mampong, we have already completed them, and now they are fully occupied. But we have 3 more of these 5 to complete, starting with the Koforidua affordable housing project. It was started during President Kufuor's era, and it's stalled since then. It comprises about 342 units of homes. So more or less about 342 families will get an opportunity to live there if we're able to finish this project. Today, if you go to Koforidua, I think the new Eastern Regional Hospital is being constructed just around that enclave. And so this is a priority project that we are working to finish. And once we're able to finish it, doctors, nurses, and other persons who live within that enclave can benefit from it. The next is the State Housing Companies project in Adenta. This project was commenced in President Mills's era. It was suspended because of litigation in the era of President Mahama, and the litigation went on for around 10 years. Earlier this year, we managed to get the court injunction lifted so that construction could resume. And by the time we went back on site, there had been a lot of dilapidation. So they had to remove some of the old items, parts of plumbing and electrical and other things had to be removed because of the integrity tests that were conducted. It comprises 4 number 1-bedroom apartments, 36 number 2-bedroom apartments, and 36 number 3-bedroom apartments, totaling about 76 units. So again, in this area, you have about 76 families that can live there once we finish with this project. Work is aggressively ongoing. We've been on site about a couple of times, and the timeline to completion is December 2024. So we are working to finish that particular project. Number 3, which I know many of you are interested in, is the Saglemi Affordable Housing Project. 1,506 units of housing partially completed. Some are uncompleted, some were finished with some fittings in them. So 1,506 housing units out of 5,000 that was commissioned. Remember, the government of Ghana took a loan of $200 million to construct 5,000 units of housing. And the average price at the time we were told was going to be about $40,000 when they were done. As at the time we assumed office, 1,506 units were partially completed, some at the foundation level, some at first floor level, some the shell had been built, some the shell had been completed with fittings in it. But the horizontal infrastructure was missing. So you didn't have water, you didn't have sewage, you didn't have electricity. You had a road network within the enclave. We've been doing some work on completing that one. Cabinet in October 2022 gave approval for this project to be resolved after the initial investigations, and the decision made that the persons who had handled the project had some questions to answer in court, because the $200 million was literally all paid out, but only 1,506 partially completed.
Ekuo bi a yefra wonom Democracy Hub ye chairman am so enipa ni bi aposifo ache wonom agu wakache na UTV ya cameras ekomonten so ne Ghana de hye bi twetwe nkomo se Ghana mpanyifo edi tumi nyina hye omonsa so omomo yensuo ni yejapade ne yenkwa ho ban Galamsey omu otumi ni ahoden bia a wom de besia no enso ma yenhwe ha eno ho abufuo ma amrante etigu monten so koye ye kire ya kire nipa aduasan kono ede agu afiase yenya wonom na se yema wo mu enadua mu na omanfo ni bia dwenkyere e wasem ebisa wo mu ni
pacha esi eyi nkola eyi wo mu free shares eni kwanse edi wo mu shares ye wa president kan say obeku Galamsey no so wantimi a ode ne president ne beto ho am so wantimi mfanto ho nti youth na ni abre ya da chenti nkwada ya wo mu wa ekire no yes, I issue anywhere. It
is appalling for the government to remain adamant. We are calling on the government to release those demonstrators. If anybody should go to prison, it is those who are digging and destroying our water bodies who are supposed to be in prison, and not those who are protesting. They are only demonstrating to the government to what? To stop the illegal mining.
I say president and the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, ACNT. Any security office, he should be held responsible, and he has the right to tell them say they should release those people.
To me, I say, you need to youth no more demonstration no, but me say to Minister for Health no, wananga say because water is life. Say ensure no, essay because without water you can't do anything. But me well mama na omo say onyem na machina kan no to me no make say omo yi no but the way Galamsey here no we know we can't stop Galamsey, but they should reduce it. They are over destroying our water bodies, and the water is something that is helping us. So to me make say presidents no there on him no there on having mercy on no there on you omo, because I can remember one time the president said if he come he's going to stop also about obey stop it Galamsey. So obetima momo alimitina ebe boye ina go soon de enyaye.
Yeah, respect Ghana police aye law. The police stop wa Ghana. So penny no pere ho ko ne yakọ law ko anya obi asam. Mi monja o mo. Achana upia obasua nyansa se police force manfa wo ko kum nipa o mba ye de. Anontina bokoni we no kunta kwa yantimi mpata no. Obi asora wa ye de anu ankasa na hoden wo. Nta hoden la so no. Ta no ana me pese omdam. Na umsua nyansa achana pi bie o ma o me yesa bio.
Yeah, busiana hani yejina ne yede kase no ya homeso ye kwaton kra ye ba bongo di fara e de agudi emu nsema waboa no ebeto so